Hey everybody, this is Bonnie with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and welcome to Friday Fun Live, where we just have fun talking about crochet. I'm going to talk a little bit today about the Crochet Along that kicked off on Monday, and we're doing well on that, I think. So real excited to be here. Let me go ahead and just say a quick hello to those of you in the chat so I can try to keep ahead of that. Good morning, Brett's mom. Linda, good to have you in the chat. She says, good morning, Bonnie, Hannah, Becky, and all my dear yarnies from cold and wet Southwest Chicago suburbs. Please, friends, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. Thank you for that reminder. You're so faithful. Praying that all are safe and well. Thank you so much. That was such a wonderful greeting. Hope you are staying warm. We are staying warm. We're, I think, on week 3 of still below freezing here. We got close yesterday. We got up to 31 degrees and it felt downright tropical. It felt good. I just didn't even bother with my coat. I went outside, just put my vest on with a little cowl, and I was fine. Anyway, good morning, Stephanie and Angie and Miriam. No, say Maria. I guess that's Maria M. Maria. And Hannah, so glad to have you with us. And Karen, good to have you with us too. And Racine and Tammy says, good morning from Oregon. The sun is shining. That's a good thing. And Knits Pearl Squirrel with Granny D, good to have you. Howdy to you too. And Phil, waving back at you. He says, hello, everyone from Salt Lake City Metro. And Suzanne Archer Nay says it's snowing like crazy today. Oh boy. That means we'll probably get that same weather pattern in a few days. And Knit Scrolling with Granny D said we had 15 inches of snow in central North Carolina. Wow. Yeah, Hannah in South Carolina, outside of Myrtle Beach, she had 8, I think. And Archer Nay says, I live in Cleveland. It's that gross slushy snow. Oh yeah, don't be out there shoveling that stuff, Terry. That's rough stuff. And Donna says, good morning. We're going into negative 30 here in Toronto. Yeah. That's cold, my dear. I'm guessing, I don't know if that's Celsius or Fahrenheit, but either way, it's below freezing, and that's cold. Ugh. And Kathleen, waving right back at you, my friend. And Maureen, good afternoon to you. And Deborah, she says, so excited to see you. Thank you so much. You're so kind. And let's see, is it Imagine? Says, hello from Spain. Wow, España. That was the very first country I ever got to visit outside of my home country of the US, was Madrid, Spain. And the year was 1979 with my high school band. Wait a minute. Was it, yeah, it was 79, May of 79. Yeah, we is old here. um, oh, thank you, Stephanie. You are so kind. I'm gonna go ahead and add that $10 donation to our docket here. Let me go ahead and pull up the place where I keep that. If I don't do this right away, I will forget, and I don't want to do that. So that brings us up to $20 towards our next donation, towards one of our charitable organizations that we love. And Deborah says, we have Donna. Thank you for joining us, Donna. Oh, wow. Donna says, I live in Oklahoma, but I'm an over-the-road truck driver, and I'm in Sydney, Nebraska right now. Wow. Well, Deborah, Phil in our chat is also an over-the-road, I guess you'd call it, truck driver, and goes coast to coast. So maybe you all can meet up at some point. That would be really cool. And share what you're working on with your crochet. And Maureen, welcome. And you're so sweet, Archernace. Thank you for encouraging Hannah. And Sandra says, good morning from a warm Southern California. Sorry. Nope, that's fine, Sandra. You enjoy. California has enough of its own issues with the mudslides and the fires and everything else. You all deserve some good weather, so enjoy every minute of it, my friend. And Donna says Celsius and over winter. Okay, so that was minus 30 in Celsius, just to let you all know. Yeah. Is that right? Wow, that is very cold. Oh, thank you, Archer and Ace. Let me add that to the docket too. Thank you so much, Terry, for that very generous donation there. So now we're up to 30. Thank you so much. I got to keep track of this. I want to be faithful for you guys. All right. And Hannah says to Archer and Ace that type of snow is perfect for slushies and making a snowman. Yeah, we couldn't make a snowman with the stuff we got. We got basically powder. It was beautiful, powdery, because it was so cold, not sticky at all. And then on top of that, we got like 3 inches of sleet, like little chunks of ice. So neither of those are good for the snowman stuff. And the chunks of ice were they really packed down. And we still have snow. We still everything is still white. Like I said, we haven't been above freezing. Um, I think since I got home, just about. And it's supposed to get up to 31, so we're close. We're getting close to that freezing point. But not above. Today is supposed to be a high of 31, and then we're going to be plunging back down into single digits. Um, so just hoping our heater, our system holds up. A friend of ours, we found out this morning, they were on their way to the hospital. Friends that we're praying for a procedure, and they woke up and it was like 51 degrees inside their house because their heat stopped. So hopefully, I think the AC guy is working on that, trying to get that up for them as one of them recovers from surgery this morning. So lots going on for some people. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Okay, let me keep it going here. And I just lost my place. Okay, here we are. Um, Yeah, thank you, Hannah, for just being so welcoming in the chat. And Sherry Woodman says, Sherry from New Hampshire, I'd like to thank you, Bonnie, for your wonderful work on the Celtic Sampler Throw. The video and written instructions are clear, easy to follow, and a pleasure to use. Thank you, Sherry, for that feedback. I I hope you feel that way at the end. This is a long journey. So let me go ahead and break this down for you all. This is the featured throw that we are currently working on. We started, if you're brand new to my channel, have never been here before, please feel free to join in this crochet along. It started on Monday. You can always come late to the party. I wanted to, before I talk about this, wanted to also say, if you're doing this crochet along, I've gotten a few questions from people saying, oh, do I have to have the first part finished by a certain time? And the answer is absolutely not. The crochet along is there to help those who need kind of that little bit of a push. But the danger in doing that is that some people kind of feel a condemnation if they don't finish by a certain time. And I just want to just push that all aside and say, please, these videos are not going anywhere. I don't like to play games with my crochet friends. Once I release a video, I leave it up. I know there's a salesy kind of thing that some people can do, and they're free to do whatever they want to do. But sometimes people create a scarcity of the information so that you have to do it by a certain time. I'm not doing that. I'm more committed to seeing this craft um, grow in people's lives and to be enjoyable rather than to be something that's a competition or um, something that's going to be another stressor in your life. I don't want that to be the case. Okay, that said, I am on a video release schedule. So I'm going to be releasing another video this coming Monday, which will be video number 2 in this series. So this is the Celtic Sampler Throw, and we started down here this week, and we've worked our way up, and I believe up through this portion. The next video released are going to be learning new stitches. We're going to be learning the wavy cable. We're going to be doing a little bit of review with the low front ridge. We're going to be adding a bobble. I can see this. And I believe the honeycomb. It's a large honeycomb stitch and another bobble. Is that all we're gonna do? Yeah, I think that's maybe not. We might not do the honeycomb till there's no, that's right. We will do the honeycomb, I believe. And maybe even more than that. I believe we'll even go through the wandering cable as well, and then save the rest for video number 3, which will be another revisitation of this pattern that we worked this past week. And we're going to do the Saxon cable and then finish off with where we started. So there are a lot of stitches. There are about a dozen different stitches here that are covered in the Crochet Along. And I am really, really, really thrilled that a lot of you are joining me. Thank you so much for those who purchased the pattern from my online Etsy store. Um, I need to let you know, I apologize for what happened. For those of you, there were a couple of you, few of you that bought the pattern from Lovecrafts and the link was broken. So I've had to email those to those people cheerfully. It wasn't my fault. It's one of those technical things. And for those of you who don't know, Lovecrafts was acquired, I think, mid last year or at the end of last year at some point by Webbs, which is a US owned business. And I think there's been kind of some growing pains with the transition. So I don't know if that's what's kind of caused that or what, but anyway, nonetheless, there was a technical issue. It took me a while to get it corrected, and I know they're short staffed, and I think part of it is that when cold bad weather hits, everybody rushes inside and they do crafts. They do knit, crochet, whatever, which is wonderful. My personal YouTube traffic has been up like 40% on my channel, which is wonderful. This is why I do this. Um, but what that means is you may experience some delays in customer service from these other organizations who are, I guess, just very busy, maybe understaffed, maybe people can't, I don't know, get into work because of the snowstorms. I don't know the situation, but just going to try to show grace to them for now and just hope this doesn't happen again. All that to say is the link for Love Crafts is working now. And if you ever have any issues downloading a pattern or anything from Love Crafts, please contact me directly because I will go and I will shake their tree so I can try to get this resolved as soon as possible. And if you just show me, even just a screenshot of proof of purchase, I will cheerfully just send you that pattern so you don't have to wait until the system at the other store is up and working. I mean, it's a lot of it's a pain, but I want to try to serve you all as best as I can. So again, apologies again for that mishap with the Lovecrafts link. It was just a broken link that they assigned to me, and it took 10 days to get that fixed. Again, we're busy. I imagine a lot of places are busy, so I'm just going to get now and hope this doesn't become a recurring issue. All right. So anyway, if you have any questions regarding this crochet along, this is the Celtic Sampler Crochet Along. There is a Facebook page. Now, some of you may not like to do Facebook. That's fine. You can contact me. You have direct contact to me. All that information is in the video description. If you don't know how to get to the video description, if you look below the video, you'll see a little thing that says see more or something like that. You click on that and then a lot more information will drop and you'll see a lot more things there. Okay, so other ways to get in touch of, things that I'm going to talk about today, just various things. So anyway, any questions on the sampler throw? Just to let you know, to review that again, we started it this past Monday on the 2nd. Video number 2 comes out this Monday, and then video number 3, which is the final video, comes out the following Monday. And this project takes 23 skeins of, well, I use Paintbox Simply Aran, or you can use 4,600, that's right, 4,600 yards of your favorite worsted weight yarn where you are. I mean, you can even turn this into a stash buster. I don't have the exact yardage per row and per section. I'm sorry. I that would have been really hard to calculate, and I probably would have calculated it wrong anyway, but that's something you'll have to guess at if you are using different colors using your stash. But feel free to do that. Just to remind you one more time, the patterns can be bought either at Etsy or at Lovecrafts. And again, thank you for those of you who are supporting me. You're really helping me to keep the heat on this month. Um, and that extra Facebook page is called the Celtic Sampler Throw Crochet Along. You can look it free to do that. And let me say one thing about that. I know some of you are just expert at being part of these Facebook groups. This is not one of the Facebook groups that requires additional administrators where you have to, be approved and all of that. It's not. It's just a regular public page that you can participate with. You're not going to be able to start your own threads here, and and one of the main reasons is I just don't have time to manage a group, if that makes sense. Um, those oftentimes can get way out of hand. And I'm also trying to guard my time and guard what gets posted. So you are free to post examples. Like I'm going to, post a new thread every couple days, and you are free to ask questions in that thread, even if it doesn't pertain to what the posting is about. Feel free to post questions there and I will respond as I can. Post photos of your work if you would like to share with others. You don't have to, but if you want to, that's great. Um, the only tricky part about people starting new threads is it really does opens myself up to more spam bots and people that and entities in the online world that are just not good, that would require me to have 2 or 3 other people being administrators full time just to manage, the cleanliness of the chat and whatnot. And I really um, don't don't have the energy for that. So thank you in advance for understanding all of that. Those of you who maybe have been embroiled in Facebook group drama know what I'm talking about. We're not going there. So feel free to join in if you want to. If not, that's fine. It's an option. You can always just contact me directly and I will get to you as soon as I can. This weekend is going to be a little busy. I actually have a babysitting gig out of town. As soon as I finish this, I'm real excited. I get to visit my grandson and get to babysit him tomorrow night. So we're going to leave a little bit early and just try to have some grandma and grandpa time with the family. So I may be a little delayed in getting to your answered questions, and I generally don't respond over the weekend. So just to let you know that, but most of you probably already know that. So, but anyway, I just wanted to restate that for those of you who may be new, kind of brought in by the Crochet Along. All right. Well, thank you again, Sherry, for this just the really encouragement there. Um, we try to do I try to do my absolute best. I try to be perfect with the writing of these things, but as you know, there's only one person that I know of that was ever perfect in this world, and he's my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and everybody else, we don't make the mark. And that goes even on the things I do well. So as far as I know, any of the corrections to this pattern have been made. There were some very minor tweaks that would not have affected, you wouldn't have even known about it. Um, but that has been updated in the pattern. And that was I think row 6 or 7 said the stitch count was 188 and it's actually 189. There were no changes in that. It was the knurl row and that I just misspoke during the video. And there was another, but the description and the written pattern were accurate. So it was just a matter of a numeration number of the rows, but it's all been corrected and you should be fine. Um, and if anything else does come up, I will alert everybody. But I think we're good to go now. All right. Okay, so uh, Jonah's Yarn, is that right? It says, Bonnie, can we subscribe to your channel through your website? I don't have pay accounts through my phone. Okay, I'm not sure. Um, it depends on what you're subscribing to. My YouTube channel is free. You can just subscribe to that as long as you're signed in. That's fine. If you're looking, um, what is this? Okay. If you're looking, okay, Joe has yarn. Okay, I guess I see it. Joe has yarn. Um, if you're looking for my watch channel, that's something different. That's a paid subscriber channel where there are no commercials, there are no spam, no ads, and there is additional material that does not appear publicly, and you can download uh, PDFs complimentary to these. Like, for example, this pattern is complimentary to my watch subscribers. It just so happens that, yeah, if you're looking for that, you can subscribe to that. There is a link in the video description. It's called Watch, as in WATCH bonniebaycrochet.com. And you are so welcome to check that out. There are many patterns there you can just download pretty much right away. And it's only $7.95 a month or $79.50 per year, which is a discount if you're in tune to the math there. So anyhow, let me go ahead and get back to the chat. Oh, we have Lynn joining us from Scotland. Wow, that's fantastic. I would like to go there someday. I've been to the UK, but I mean, I've been to London, to be into England, but I have not been to Scotland. I really want to go. Um, and Stephanie says it's not much, but it's some that others may need. That's very kind of you, Stephanie. Thank you again for the for your kindness there. And Elizabeth says, "Hello, I can't stay long, but hi." Well, hi, Elizabeth. Hope you heard that. And BJ says, "Good morning. Wishing you sunshine and smiles, love and laughter." Oh, that's so sweet, BJ. Thank you. Wow, and Phil saying, "I know where Sydney, Nebraska is. Exit 59 off of I-80." Wow, you truckers, I bet you know the world out there. Wow. And Diane says, "Hi to all. God bless." Thank you, Diane. And Mimi says, "Good morning, Bonnie and Hannah. What a blessing it is to be here. It's great to have you here, Mimi." And Donna says, "Hello from beautiful, snowy Ohio. Stay warm, Donna." And Deborah, um, thank you. Just saying hello back to Hannah. And let's see. Ooh, I'm way behind again. Okay, we have a prayer request from Donna. Says, "Hi, Bonnie. Can you pray for my 16-year-old? He got hit by a car 2003, and his promising ball career was cut short. His mental state keeps getting worse. Also could use prayer for his father as well." Definitely, Donna. Hannah, could you make a note of that for me for when we're done? I would really appreciate that. Definitely. Thank you, Donna. We will be praying for your family. I got a lot of things loaded. I'm really behind again. Well, let me tell you before I get back. Let's see. I am way behind. Ugh, yikes. I see Ola Joe, the crocheting sailor, is in our chat again. Yeah. Okay, Hannah. Thank you. All right. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Found where I left off. And happy Friday to you too, Ola Joe. And BJ says we're at 34 degrees, heat wave. Yeah. Reminds me those little dancing mice in um, called that story. Hannah, what's that story I'm thinking of? Anyway, it's a Christmas story, but the little mice dance around and they just sing, "This is my island in the sun." Hoo, hoo. That's what I felt like yesterday when it was 31. Um, and so we have Joe has yarn. Okay. From Idaho. It's supposed to be 50 today, but not good for our fruit trees. They think it's spring. Oh dear. Hope they don't bloom yet. Still working on the cappuccino blanket. Oh, wow. Yeah, I know that's a little tricky. I know, um, before Hannah got this, the daffodils were already starting to poke up through the ground, so they get confused sometimes. Oh, that's what it was, Hannah. Muppet Christmas Carol. That's what the little rats dancing around. Yeah, Rizzo the rat. That's what I was thinking of whenever, because they were so cold in there, and Scrooge wouldn't give him another log of wood to warm it up. Kind of cute. Um, Phil says, "Is it bragging to say 45 here in Utah?" Probably. Oh, that's great. I bet it feels good though. It's just perspective, the way our bodies get used to it. I really can't complain though. I've pretty much stayed inside most of the time, and uh, I can't complain yet. I mean, I can always complain, but I choose not to. It's so far the heat has kept working. My husband very judiciously got this looked at and got it up to speed about a couple weeks before this all went down with the cold weather. Um, yeah, no, you can brag on. That's what biblically I'm supposed to be doing anyway. So I will be cheerful with you, and as well as the one that our friends in Southern California. Um, Yep, thank you, Hannah. Yeah, it was okay, it was coal. The mice, the rats wanted coal, not okay, that's right, that was London, so yeah, it would've been coal back in the day. Um, yep. Yep, yep, yep. Alright, let's see. Hannah says, "Oh, yes, when it's been in the teens and 20s, the 30s is a heat wave." Yes, it is. And Archernay says, "This is the kind of snow that happens the storm," right, Hannah? Um, and Sandra says, "No, Phil, bragging is 67 degrees here." Yep, now you're pushing it, Sandra. I don't want anybody to feel pressure. And once people start sending in pictures of where they are, and let's suppose they're way ahead of everybody else, and actually there is somebody that's halfway done, and I have purposefully not posted that photo yet because I don't want it to intimidate anybody, because it's not a race. There is no special award for finishing first. Sorry. um, but this is about developing, a passion, developing a love of a craft, and developing skills, and skills sometimes have learning curves, and learning curves can sometimes be painful for some people. So we want this to be an enjoyable process. So even when I start posting photos, and suppose you're not as far along as that yet, please don't worry about it. Just know that, you know you're trying to learn something new, and something enjoyable, and that's the idea, is to keep this craft interesting enough so that you're going to want to do it in 20 years, or for the next 20 years, and not get absolutely bored out of your mind with one or two stitches only. That's how I actually got into this. As a teenager, I was already bored with everything in publication, and I found this leaflet by Annie Og, and I just like, wow, that's so different and so amazing. I want to learn how to do this, and so I've just kind of tried to build upon that. I want to keep this going, and I don't want anybody out there to ever be bored. So anyway, is that Gaga Rap? Good afternoon to you, and I hope I'm not saying that wrong. Um, and Phil said it was 80 degrees in Los Angeles yesterday. Yeah, I'm not ready for that yet. I'm not ready for 80 yet. Um, 50, 60, I'll take it. um, Stephanie says, "I'm barely on row 13 of the sampler. To be fair, I have to work a lot." Stephanie, again, relax. It's okay. It's okay. We all have different, everybody has different life, different styles, different things going on. So if I want it to be a blessing to you, okay? Um, And Hannah's talking to Phil, says, "I've heard they've gotten unusually warm weather over there." Yeah. And Elizabeth says, "I'm behind on I guess the crochet along. I'll be ready by Sunday morning. Yay." Well, good. Um, And Sandra says, I'm further east of Los Angeles. We are a bit chillier. Yeah, if you're in the desert, that's where friends of mine live out kind of, I forget the name of the area, but it's about an hour outside of LA. And I know it gets cooler there. And Lynn says, I plan to give myself a month to complete each video, take the pressure off a bit, and I have so many other patterns I want to keep working on. I think that's great, Lynn. That's a good perspective there. Again, the reason that I'm going boom, 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 1, 2, 3 is if I don't do that, there are going to be quite a few people wanting to know where's the second video? Where's the third video? The questions haven't started yet, but they will. So if I don't have them sequentially scheduled, I'm just doing that just to cover my bases. But again, it's going to be there a long time. But we are going to focus on, collecting photos. So if you do want to be a part of that slideshow that I release further on down, it's not going to be anytime soon, but I do plan on collecting photos of the completed um, Celtic Sampler Throws and then putting it together into a slideshow just publicly. So if you want to be able to participate in that and send in a photo, you'll probably need to finish it probably in the next 3 or 4 months. But there's going to be a lot of time to be able to do that. Okay. And from M Mig 12 says, "Hi Bonnie, the Celtic Sampler throw looks heavy. Is there another yarn recommendation to make it lighter in weight? What lighter worsted 4 do you recommend?" I think any number 4 yarn is going to have the same or very similar effect. If you want it to be lighter, you'll probably have to go to a DK weight yarn, which is going to make it smaller as well. But you might like that. You might enjoy that. This is as is about 47 inches wide. It might bring it into about 38 to 40 inches if you again, I'm estimating if you go down to a DK weight yarn. So you may want to try that. If you go to a wool yarn, if you can afford that fiber, it might actually lighten it a bit as well. So that's an idea. And just to let you know, Hannah, we changed our schedule. Dad, our schedule has changed, so I'm going to go to 1 today, Hannah, if I can. All right. What else do I need to tell you about? I want to show you what I've been doing this week. I'm working on a video. A company approached me that they have these hand presses that make buttons. And let me show you what I'm talking about. These little buttons that have a pin on the back, okay, that you can, pin on backpacks. So I have had a blast this week. There was a learning curve to this, and the video is going to talk all about that. But I got to make some really fun buttons. This is one just a little fun thing I can wear. You got the watch channel, and so people are going to say, "What's the watch channel?" And then I get to tell them all about it. Yeah, careful what you ask questions about, right? And here's another one. This is an older design that I was able to make smaller, and I've just had a lot of fun, making these things. So once the crochet along is done, I'll have a short video on how this works. And if those of you who have a small business or maybe, want to make buttons for your school or club or whatever, I will say one thing. Once you understand how this is done and once you get this thing working right, which was a learning curve again, I found making these buttons, Hannah, you would really love doing these. I found it addicting. I didn't stop at 2 or 3. I made over 100. So maybe I have an issue. I don't know. But anyway, I went ahead and made a whole bunch, and I actually ordered more. And when you make these, you can make them at home this size. And I know this is small. It's not as big as some of the others, but these are nice in that you can, they're small enough to get attention, but not, like a big, campaign button or something. And you can add them to your hats or jackets, and you can put a bunch of them on if you wanted to. And they're fun for craft shows, and that's kind of what I got them for, craft and fiber festivals. Speaking of fiber festivals, I mentioned this last week. I signed up for the Frederick Fiber Festival. So that's in Frederick, Maryland. This will be April 25th. It's a Saturday from 9 to 5. I will be there at my stand. I'll have my books and leaflets available for sale. I will have some samples, not this one, but things that I've made for my to demonstrate for my YouTube channel over the years. I have a few boxes. I'll have them on a rack. I'm going to have some actual crocheted samples available for sale at reasonable prices as well. So if that's something you're interested in, mark your calendars for April 25th. That's the Frederick Fiber Festival at the Frederick County Fairgrounds. It's always a good turnout. Every year, it's only gotten bigger and bigger. There are, I believe, more than 100 vendors there now, and I love it. I love just seeing some of my same friends there and new friends as well. All right. I got a question in the mail, in my email this morning. I wanted to talk about, and I'm going to try to have a really good attitude about this. Many of you are familiar with my design, the Aran Hearts Throw. I designed this originally for Red Heart Yarns, sold the rights to Red Heart Yarns when I was at a conference, and that was in 2011. So that's been going on 15 years ago. I made a video series so that you could learn how to make the Aran Hearts Throw. But now if you go, now that was to Red Heart Yarns back in the day when Red Heart Yarns was based in Charlotte, North Carolina. Since then, over the years, it was sold, that the company was sold to Yarnspirations, and then Yarnspirations basically didn't really work with American designers as much anymore, which is fine. They have plenty of wonderful designers up in Canada. But I noticed that if you go online to Google Aran Hearts Throw, if you go to their Yarnspiration site, which has the free pattern that I've referred people to for many years, it doesn't come up, the Aran Hearts Throw. And the reason it doesn't come up is they changed the name to Crochet Heart of the Matter Blanket. How awkward is that? So they changed it to Crochet Heart of the Matter. They made many updates to the written pattern, which when I sell a pattern to a company, which I don't do that anymore, I retain the rights to my work from this point on. And these are one of the reasons why. They've updated the pattern, and they're allowed to do that because once I sell something to them, intellectual property to them, they can do whatever. They've removed my name from the pattern, so you don't see who designed it. My name is gone. Okay. That makes me struggle a little bit. Okay. A little bit on the struggle bus on that one. But anyway, they took my name off of it, and they changed the name so that even when you do a search for the old name in their system, it doesn't come up. So I'm just telling you that because people are contacting me saying, I can't find the pattern. Well, the reason is they changed it, and they didn't, point in their computer system to this one, which they probably should have done. But it's called Crochet Heart of the Matter. And I just tell you this because sometimes I'll get people calling me or emailing me and saying, or saying something on YouTube, to the effect of, but the pattern says something different than what you're saying in the video. I made the video a long time ago, and the video, I still stand by the videos. The videos, to my knowledge, are as correct as I can make it. If they've made editing changes to the writing of this, I don't have any, please don't hold me accountable for that, is what I'm trying to say. So now that said, they did do some really nice updates in that they did add stitch diagrams. So kudos to them for doing that. So I don't understand why they could keep the name and keep my name on it and still doing this, but they did add some helpful stitch designs, stitch diagrams, which will, help those who have to, use these to understand. So just wanted to inform you about that. And so again, the name Crochet Heart of the Matter Blanket instead of the Aran Hearts Throw. I thought Aran Hearts Throw just kind of was a little bit easier to remember, but so just wanted you all to know about that. Um, and let's go ahead and get back. Ola Jo says she's freezing over here in Virginia. We're coming to you. We're coming your way, Ola Jo. We're gonna be driving to Lynchburg um, this afternoon. I'm gonna try to get my husband to stop by Buc-ee's. I don't know if he will, but I'm gonna try to get him to stop by there on the way. We like to go the long way around instead of going through town through 29. We kind of go a different way. Um, all right. Yeah, Hannah, thank you for the encouragement to Lynn. Just take your time completing it, enjoying the journey while making it. Absolutely. There's got to be joy in the journey. Yes, I love that term. And Elizabeth says, I so wish this thing would just stop changing my words. Oh, don't you just love AI? Ugh. That's a tongue-in-cheek thing there. Yeah. And but I can kind of understand. Okay. I can kind of read through some of that because it happens to me a lot. And Jesus Joy 7 says, good day, Bonnie, Hannah, and community. Pray you all are doing well. I'm a little late. I hope you all are healing well. Still praying for the leg and whatnot from that fall. I hope you guys are doing better and making really good progress. And Hannah's saying, yeah, the autocorrect can be a pain sometimes, but I knew what you meant to say crochet along. Yep. That's exactly what when I saw song, I thought, no, that was changed. I have things changed right after I type exactly in what I want to say and it's not changing and I hit send and then it changes on the way out and I'm like, no. So I have to go in and correct it when I do texting sometimes. And yeah, Phil didn't know Webb's bought Lovecrafts. I'm pretty sure that's who bought it. And I know they've had some growing pains, Phil. So yeah, that's just, I guess progress brings that along. I hope it's progress. And Jesus Joy 7 says, I am working, Bonnie, on the cow shawl. So addicted, but I have to stop rest due to wrist issues. I don't have Facebook, enjoying myself. Yeah, don't worry. If you don't want to do Facebook, you don't have to do Facebook. That's just for those who enjoy that medium or that social platform. I enjoy it to a point. I just don't like to marinate in it, if that makes sense. Oh, thank you, Hannah. Hannah says she thinks Dad, my husband Craig, would take me to Buc-ee's because he loves me. Oh, I want to get one of those. I want to get one of those T-shirts that they have there now. Confession: they have the cutest shirts at Buc-ee's. Okay, I'm getting off on the tangent. What time is it? I don't want to get too far off. But my daughter-in-law came in wearing a Buc-ee's Valentine's Day shirt with hearts on it. And I thought, oh, that is so cute. I mean, there's just what I need is another shirt, right? Maybe I do. I just love going to Buc-ee's. They just have the most beautiful things there. And I know it's crazy. And when they went, it was like nobody there. It was amazing because of the weather. And people are just not traveling. All right. And Elizabeth says, I'm excited, actually. I'm making large meatloaf tomorrow, leftovers for Sunday. Crochet all day. Oh my, don't you feel sorry for me? Aw, no, I don't. No, I'm happy for you. And Wanda says, good morning, Bonnie and Hannah. I have plans to do the cow, but I have to postpone getting started on this. But I just have too much. Wanda, it will wait for you patiently, my dear. There is no rush, I promise. And Hannah says, take your time doing it. Don't risk pain or injury to finish the project. When I do my jigsaw puzzles, I have to get up and walk around to get some of my joints moving. Yeah, I need to do that more. Wow. Yeah, and then let's see. We have, is it Abdul in the chat? Welcome. And thank you for your encouragement, Gaga. And Elizabeth says, okay, I'll come back and watch rest this evening. Oh my yarn is listed as 6/6. It's barely a 5, more like 4.5. Yeah, yeah, you gotta really watch that. It's funny how people think some things are different sizes. There's quite a range within each of those numbers. And what she's talking about is the number of the weight or the thickness of the yarn. All right. Uh, and Joe has yarn. Says Bonnie, can we? Okay, already. We did that one. Thank you for sending that in, Hannah. And Hannah says she's mainly focusing on, yeah, enjoying grandma's years and helping her with her wants and needs. You're doing a great job, Hannah. And thank you, Ola Joe. She says, I enjoy my time with my grandson. Yay. I was so excited for you. Thank you. And Stephanie says, knurl row should have how many? On the stitches, you would, it depends on what you're referring to, Stephanie. If you're skipping the first one, I think that's where I messed up. I think that's where I thought in my head that I had 188 stitches and not 189. With the knurl stitch, because you do skip that first stitch, but I also work the reverse slip stitch in the turning chain. So that actually kept the count constant instead of losing a stitch there. And even though if we did have 188, you wouldn't lose a stitch on the next row because you still have 189 loops to work in. And I know that sounds like gibberish to those of you who don't know what we're talking about, but I hope that makes sense, Stephanie. And, as far as updates to the pattern, I did talk about it on the Facebook page. If you try to download a new version of that same pattern, it's already been updated. That was like early, like day 2. So you may already have the updated pattern. And Jesus Joy, okay. Yeah, okay. And okay, so Joe was talking about the watch channel. Okay, great. So I think you understand that. There's a link for that in the video description. You should be good to go. All right. And we've gotten through that. All right. Well, let me go ahead and tell you about a couple of other things. Okay, just another reminder that my crochet books that I sign and send out are back in my online store. Of course, if you order one this afternoon, it will not ship out until Monday because I'm going out of town and I'm not taking my books with me, but I'm leaving these in my Etsy store. And for those of you who don't know, I have entire booklets of Afghans in case you are running short. They all have video tutorials for the right or left-handers. Here is a beginning book of crochet for absolute beginners and I think very approachable. And I designed this in larger print so that it's a good candidate for children learning how to read books, learning, how to crochet. Here's another one for those of you who like the beginning or the quick and easy stuff. Like if you need to, get a blanket out quickly, the beginning blanket book is the way to go. And I have other books as well, but here's another one, just the Celtic Crochet shawls, which many of them use a number 1 weight yarn. But as you can see, you can make it into something even larger. Like this was originally designed in a number 1 weight or fingering weight. And then Hannah found me some amazing yarn at a thrift store that was a number 4 or worsted weight. And I redid the pattern with this, and it's just a wonderful stole. I actually keep this one right here in my room to grab whenever I get a chill. I can just put that over my shoulders because I don't want to have to put on a sweatshirt or something if it's not that cold. So those and more are available in my online Etsy store. You may, if you're doing price comparison, you might see that some of them are $1 or $2 more, but just keep in mind I ship. Sorry, I only do that shipping in the US. If you want shipped outside the US, you can contact me and we can work it out. But I promise you, the price will be about 3 times what you could buy directly from Amazon, which is one reason why I don't do that, because the price of shipping is crazy. But all of these shipped for free within the continental US. So just to let you know. And I wanted to show you the yarn that I had on my little thumbnail. I just had a ball yesterday. No pun intended. Just winding yarn. I love doing this. I could get a job full time winding yarn. I'm not kidding. It's one of those things. It's not as contagious or as addicting maybe as crocheting is, but I don't know. Maybe it's just my personality. I'm not going to say this name because I'm sure I'll get it wrong, but this is the type of yarn this is. I just picked it up from a local vendor from the Frederick Fiber Festival, and some of the stats on the yarn, very generous on the yardage. And I love the name of this. It's Panther Pink. So I'm looking forward to making something very soon with this. Actually have 3 of them. And then I had another one. Um, this is a little different than the one I had in the picture, but I had something similar to this, but a little more washed out, that I'm taking with me on my trip to probably make a cowl with, from the Yarnsmith. And I can show you, there's actually one on my channel already, a cowl. It's nice and thin. But what's really nice about these is you can just put it over, what you're wearing. Fits under your jacket. Just if you're wearing something kind of plain like this black shirt, just a nice pop of color. And this is a one skein wonder, so just one hank of yarn to make this. This is already on the channel. It's the woven stitch cowl. It's very, very, very quickly works up with one skein of yarn. And it's a lot of fun if you have something in your stash, some crazy colors, and you just have no idea what to do with it. And it's very, for me personally, very satisfying to work in such beautiful colors. It's just relaxing, therapeutic even. And let's see. Oh, did any of you guys we just had Groundhog's Day this past week. Does anybody have any traditions with that? I just wanted to tell you about one. We love watching the Bill Murray movie, Groundhog's Day. That's just kind of become a regular thing with our family, and so we got a chance to watch that again. And I can relate to him where he gets to the point where he says about the winter, it's going to be gray, it's going to be cold, and it's going to last forever. I know that's what it feels like, but I know that's not the way it's going to be. But we've had kind of that groundhog feel, looking at the weather, go, oh boy, it's going to still be cold. But anyway, so that was a lot of fun. It's just I love watching that movie. It's one of the, I guess, few Bill Murray movies that you can watch with your children. And that's kind of nice to have something with such a nice message to it. Um, Hannah has a question for me. Do your books ship to Canada? Um, it it depends. I generally do not. I do not have my Etsy account set up to do that. But if you want to email me, I can give you an estimate on how much it's going to cost. But I promise you, I have mailed things internationally years and years ago when I did not make the disclaimer up front. And it cost me personally about 3 or 4 times the price of the item that I was shipping to ship even just a little ways outside the US. So generally, I say I'm sorry. It's not that I'm against anybody outside the US. I promise. I love, I'm not that egocentric. I love my country. I love learning about other cultures. I love everybody, but I can't afford to send everybody stuff. So it's just very expensive. That's the only thing. I'm sure my Canada friends can understand that. I mean, I got to go up to Canada this year and teach, and had a wonderful time meeting just great people up there, up in Prince Edward Island. I really, really treasure that time there. But I can't always afford, to pay 3 times, and it's kind of that's why I say that. It's not that I'm against sending things to people. I'm trying to watch out for your wallet as well. I'm trying to be mindful of your expense and that your money will be best spent, um, from Amazon in Canada. You can get it delivered tomorrow. It would cost, like I say, 2 to 3 times the expense of the book just for shipping, and that just makes it way too expensive, and that's why I do that. Um, it's just yeah, that's what it is. Um, Hi, Shelly, she says, "I'm not sure why I'm not getting notifications for your lives. I should be." Um, well, Shelly, just know that 9 times out of 10, I'll be here Fridays at noon. So if you just want to put that on your notification on your schedule. I mean, I try to do it like clockwork. There are occasions where I do travel, but I'm sorry about that. I don't understand how some of those notifications work either. Archer Nay says, I have 2 of the beginners and the baby books. They are used so much they are falling apart. Aw. If you need more, let me know. I can send you some more. Uh, yeah, Jesus Story 7. Yeah. Again, the updates on the pattern, you wouldn't even notice them if you weren't paying attention. You would not even notice them. So they're so minor. It's like straining a gnat out. I mean, it's not a whole. If you're concerned, you can contact me, bonniebay@me.com. Okay. And if you go with the videos are correct to my knowledge. I mean, they are as correct as they can be. They've been edited, they've been tech edited. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay. And good to have you in the chat, Nodula. And big Belgian baby, is that right? Says, I'm glad to see that Bucky's is going to other states. We certainly love them here in Texas. I tell you what, the first time we saw one of these was in Texas. It was outside of Dallas. Anyway, it was outside of Dallas. We went for I was there for, I think, to see a race. We went to see an indie race. But anyway, we drove by this. I had heard of Bucky's, but I'd never actually seen one. And my husband's driving the car and he's like, what in the world is that? He just saw this place. They have like over 100 gas pumps. So if you've never seen a Bucky's, they're huge. It's like a Walmart with a huge gas station. Um, but in my opinion, a little bit nicer. They have really cool stuff. They have extremely friendly people inside. They have the cleanest bathrooms you will ever see. Um, when you're on the road, you are going to have a lot of traffic if it's a good day to travel because a lot of people love stopping there. But yeah, my husband just about drove off the road. He's like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's a Bucky's." That was like 3 or 4 years ago, and about 3 years ago, and then they built one in Florence, right off of I-95, Florence, South Carolina, and so that was the first one that I ever went to, was the one in Florence when they opened it, and now they have one in Virginia. It's off of I-81 on the way west. I can't remember, is it near Staunton or someplace like that? Um, but anyway, so I'm hoping we get to stop there. But yeah, they're a lot of fun. Okay, that's a non-paid ad. I know some people do not like them at all because they don't like all the people. It's whatever, it's just a nice fun break when you've been on the road and it's been pretty monotonous. Okay. I think I'm trying not to skip anybody. If I skipped you, I'm sorry. Okay, Betty, did I read that one? Okay, I have not. So cold here in West Virginia, good time to crochet. Absolutely, Betty. And Phil said, I thought they changed the name to Diamond and Basket Weave Throw, or I'm thinking of another pattern. Yeah, that's another one. I designed, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I think I designed 4 different throws for Red Heart Yarn. That was back 2011, 2012, a long time ago. That's when Bobby Matella was the design person for Red Heart when they were out of Charlotte. Um, it's been a long time ago. Yeah, I've got several with them, Phil. Yeah, I'm gonna stop there, Ola Joe. I'm gonna see. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get him to stop there. And Nigel talking about says, "What a pity. I think about the name change and all. The big always takes what is not theirs to take." Well, technically, Nigella, they own it, so they can do whatever they want with it. So I've just, it's like one of those things, live and learn. So I have lived and I have learned. So I don't sell the rights to my designs any longer. I just publish them in my own books that I retain the rights to. Yeah, thank you. Um, okay. Um, yeah, thanks, Hannah. I wasn't trying to take down Yarnspirations. I mean, I still use their yarn once in a while. I just don't go out of my way to promote their stuff in case you haven't noticed. But again, it's whatever. I use what I like, and if they have the best yarn, I will use it. I like to buy according to, um, yeah. And that Racine wants to know, if I was at NASCAR in 2023 in the Dallas area. No, we didn't go to the NASCAR race. We actually went to the IndyCar race. They had their, I think it was in 2021 or was it 2022? I'm trying to think now. I think I was in Dallas, I think for the 2023 DFW Fiber Festival. I had so that was 2023. So I think it was 2022 that I went there. If I'm thinking that right, yeah, it was the NASCAR race. I still have a piece of paper from the winner's circle in my wallet. Uh, it was so much fun. And okay, Lynn says, I hate doing the same boring stitch over and over. I'm thrilled to have found your channel. Thank you, Lynn. And I've joined the watch, and I am doing the jumbo braided scarf. Even my critical 9-year-old is impressed. Excellent. If you can impress a 9-year-old, you're doing something right, Lynn. Thank you. um, and Nicole says she's wanted to make her own buttons. Yes. Archer Nay says, I want a Bonnie button. I'll get you some. I'll get you some. I'll have to figure out how to get these to folks. I'm going to have them at the Fiber Festival. I'll have a bunch of them there. And Gloria, great to have you. And Sabrina says, I'm loving it, learning a lot. Starting over for the 4th time, different yarn, different color, different hook. Oh boy, I hope that goes well this time. And I'm going backwards here a little bit. Nodula says, my auntie passed away on Wednesday. I'm sad, but okay. I'm so sorry about that, Nodula. They're so sad. I'm so sorry about your loss there. Um, and Donna says she's all caught up on the throw. Can't wait for video 2. The stitches are very interesting. Yay. Oh, thank you, Hannah. She sent me pictures. I wish I could show those to folks. Yeah, I can pull them up on my phone, can't I? Hold on, let me show you. Hannah just sent me, boy, this was after the race in Dallas. And what was really fun is afterwards, we got to go to the infield. We got to go to the pits and got to see the cars. I mean, you could touch these cars. It was amazing. That's my hubby sitting in the middle of the infield. That's at the Dallas Speedway. Fantastic track. So thanks for sending that to me, Hannah. Well, I think I'm going to be ending this broadcast. I want to just make sure I haven't missed anybody. And Maya has a question. Okay, what's the best yarn for a high traffic cushion cover? I'm thinking something with a lot of nylon in it. Something that's not going to pill right away. You're going to want yarn that's not real soft. The softer the yarn, the faster it tends to pill. So you're going to want yarn that's not very soft. And I don't really have a brand to know right off the top of my head. but something with a high nylon content, because nylon is strong and it does not pill as much as other things will. Eventually, all things do pill if you're going to wear them a lot. If you're going to get a lot of fiber on fiber rubbing back and forth, um, yeah, fiber cushion. Maybe some types of cotton, mercerized cotton might be a good fabric to look for as well. Not talking the cotton. Anyway, look, you can look that up. Mercerized cotton might be good. Okay, from Stitch Mickey. Greetings to all. I just subscribed to your channel. So glad to see you again. Last time I saw you was at an in-person class you taught at Lovely Yarns. Just joined but wanted to know if the pattern is yarn specific. Can I use cotton or bamboo yarn, something that does not pill? I am not having luck with acrylic. Is this for, I don't know what you're making. I don't know what this is not the same discussion for the seat cushion. This is, I guess, for the throw. It's not yarn specific. You can use your favorite yarn. I always tell people that this is the yarn I used. This is the yarn I like. It's accessible to me, but use whatever you have in your area that is your favorite yarn. So use your favorite worsted weight. I would guard against using something that's 100% cotton though, because when you put that in a washer machine, unless it's super industrial, it will break. So I actually washed my tree skirt this past week, and it's made of the same yarn, and it has like 15 balls of yarn in that, and it washed beautifully. And I set it out on my back of my chair to dry, and the yarn washed beautifully, didn't pill, didn't it looks great. It looks better now than I did before. Um yeah, it looks really good. So that's the only thing. Again, if you're going to use cotton, bamboo is going to be very slippery and may not define the stitches as well. But if you're okay with that, you'll have a beautiful drapey throw. So, yeah, don't feel compelled to stick with acrylic. If you want something better, you can certainly do something better. Okay, I just want to make sure we have Trish in the chat. She says it's about 25 degrees where she is. Infinitely Zero, good to have you in the chat. And Nicole, yes, you guessed right, Muppets Christmas Carol. And Trish is joining us from Southeast West Virginia, and it's snowing again. Okay, I think I've tried to touch base with everybody. If I missed you again, it's not on purpose. I just do need to finish up. I do need to release my administrator, moderator person. Okay, for the throw. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. I just did what I had just addressed to Stitch Mickey was, in regards to the throw. Yeah, feel free to use what you want. Again, if you want to use cotton, I would do it with extreme care, just because of the weight when you're going to wash that. It's going to be needing a huge machine. Yeah. Okay. All right, I'm going to have to skip through the rest of this, but I will take a look at that once I go off. I wanted to read just some encouraging words, as always, to you as we sign off. Again, I pull my encouragement. No apologies for this. I pull it from my Christian heritage, my Christian background that I rely upon heavily, and even more so as the world news hits us again and again. I just wanted to read this song that we sang this past Sunday at our worship service, and it just really affected me. I just loved the words. This is a song that was written recently, and I think it was written in 2019. It comes from the Sovereign Grace Ministries. It was, yeah, it was written by David Zimmer and Nathan Stiff, um, younger songwriters than some of the hymns that I read from sometimes. But let me just go ahead and finish with this. And again, this this is directed for those who have faith in Christ, but it just really lifts me, and I'm hoping that it will do this for some of you out there as well. And the song reads, "Our rest is in heaven, our rest is not here. Then why should we tremble when trials draw near? Be still and remember the worst that can come, but shortens our journey and hastens us home. Christ our glory, Christ our hope, Christ our King forevermore. Be still and remember the worst that can come, but shortens our journey and hastens us home. No hours should be wasted on seeking our joy and placing our hope in what will be destroyed. We look for a city that hands have not raised. We long for a country that sin has not stained. Christ our glory, Christ our hope, Christ our King forevermore. We look for a city that hands have not raised. We long for a country that sin has not stained. Though trouble and anguish increase all the more, they cannot compare to the glory in store. Come joy or come sorrow, whatever befalls, the light of the Savior will outshine them all." I hope that encourages you. If you want to hear the actual song, I did include a link in the video description to a performance of this song, and it's just a very, very beautiful song, but it also has a very contemporary sound if you're interested in that. But anyway, I hope you all have a fantastic week. And again, any questions with the crochet along, you know where to call me, you know where to or to contact me. Don't I don't take the calls, but you know how to get in touch with me. And I just hope that goes well. And you all, with this cold weather coming even again and again, stay warm, stay safe, and I hope to see you next week. God bless. Bye bye.